If you know your car, how many miles can you go past E? How many miles? Bro, how many miles can you go past E on your car?
I could go about 27 miles, man. I ain't gonna
27
lie.
miles. But the truth is, when you're riding on an empty tank,
Yeah.
the reason why they tell you to fill up before it gets empty, and I do this too. I'm not saying that this is us all growing together as a community.
Yeah.
Is because when the gas tank gets empty or low, all of the sediment and the dirt from the past fill-ups is resting on the bottom of the tank.
Yikes.
So when you start running all the way down to E, then the engine starts to suck all of that dirt, all of that sludge into the engine that's settled at the bottom. And so then we run the risk of damaging the engine because why? I didn't stop and fill up.
No.
So many of us are in relationships running on empty, on fumes, and all of the dirt of our past situations, all of the sludge of our trauma is now being sucked into the engine that controls our ability to progress forward.
That's so good, bro.
So then we got to figure out, how are we in this place now where I am able to give from a full place instead of trying to run on empty? What you think on that, bro?
Oh, first of all, my mind is just blown. What? No. The gunk of our trauma has now poisoned our engine like that. We gotta just sit right there. And this is why conflict is so difficult. This is why it's so difficult to rebound from our past relationships because, and to be honest, I wonder when you say, man, we lose pieces of ourselves. Like, I wonder, are any of us even to this point, at this point, operating at full capacity, at our full selves? And man, like, are we literally just operating as like we're putt-putting through our relationships because of everything that we've allowed? That, man, every time that we should have stopped and we didn't, and we kept going and we kept going and we kept allowing the abuse, we kept allowing ourselves to be misused and mishandled. And man, to be honest, I want to sit with that myself. Like, man, am I even operating at full capacity? Because what happens is it does a disservice for anyone else that you intend to love earnestly and authentically. You're not running into these situations because you want to destroy your next relationship. You're not running into these situations because you don't want it to work. You keep coming into these situations because you don't realize that literally your check engine light has been flaring this entire time. And you've been so locked into doing it. Like, man, I remember when I used to have this, first of all, I used to have this raggedy car, man. And that check engine light used to come on. It used to beep. It used to make noises like letting me know it's time to take that car in. But I got so used to that light being on, it was part of the way the car worked. And so I
Wow.
wonder how much of the way that we work, the way we move, the way we operate, the way we love, with good intention, like with good intention, is just operating poorly. Like, we're operating in a way that is destined to fail. And I'm like, it should be a moment of clarity and a moment of awakening for some of us, that God did not design you to live like that, and God did not design you to love like that. And
Yeah.
it's bad. God did not call you to be a poor steward of the assignments and the people that He's placed within your reach. And so it does not just you a service, but it does everyone in your capacity a great service for you to get service, for you to take the time to see, what is this that keeps flaring up? Why does this keep happening? Why every time I hit this corner, I always hear this same thing, this misalignment? what's going on here. And this is that moment. This conversation may be the opportunity that God is giving us to say, hey, you've had your relationships have caused you to see this light, but now you're at a shop. And I've given you the grace of coming into a shop before this thing collapsed on you. Check this thing out. See what this is about. Because the next time you might not be able to save the car. Imagine the alert being the grace. Like the check
Oh
engine light
my
isn't
God.
like a punishment. It's the grace. It's the mercy to say, hey, I'm giving you a chance to take it to me to fix it. Bring this thing to me. I mean, it was manufactured with alerts. Because cars could just disrupt on their own and everything under the hood could just be in obscurity. But the alerts are the grace to let you know, like, you don't have to keep going. In fact, stop right now. That's the goodness of God in our lives. When we get to these places where we have these temporary breakdowns, or when we shut down, or when we're crying and we're having these fits and we're frustrated, those are those signals to let us know, hey, it's time to take this car to the shop.
What if the signals are the grace? How many alerts have we ignored? How many, and it's so many times we hear the alerts, we see them, but then we drown them out with something louder.
Turn up that radio, Brody.
Let let me let this is my jam. And so I would rather cultivate my comfort than to stop what I'm doing and to go get checked out. So
This
then
is
I
my
I keep and I love what Kalea said. She said you got to fill up on God first so he can purge us of the residue so we're not giving trash and accepting trash.
Ooh, I love that because it's dual, right? We're
It's
not
dual.
giving trash and accepting trash. And here's the crazy part about it. Hmm. God designed the body in a way that, like, they tell you to get it's good to detoxify your body. That's why the soul detox is so fitting. Detox your body, because when you don't, even when you try to take in nutrients, your body can't receive it fully. And
Mm,
so, in the same way, when we talk about receiving trash, sometimes it may not be trash, but the way my body is built with these toxins, even nutrients operate to none effect, the same way trash would. So, there's a scripture in Jeremiah chapter 17, I believe, verse 5, and it says, cursed is the man who trusts in the flesh, because when the good comes, he will not see it. And it reminds me of this is, man, imagine, yeah, there are going to be situations you attract yourself to because of your toxicity, and you attract yourself to toxic situations. But imagine the good coming and you not even being able to get the impact, or it never being able to reach you because you haven't dealt. Like, God is that good. He won't even allow his good things to sit with mess. So, so you're preparing yourself in a way that allows God to deal with the mess and the gunk, allows God to be a just God. Because
mm.
why would he give you a good thing when all you're going to do is, one, misinterpret it, distort it, misunderstand it, not have patience for it? That top and toxicity doesn't have to be, we take this toxic word so, like, we use it so frivolously that toxicity always has to look like this. But toxicity could be minor and it could operate in one system. Like, your respiratory system might be fire, your nervous system might be cool, but that circulatory system might need attention. And so this is the grace that we have and the opportunity of relationships. Because, like, I'm good seemingly with my mom, and I'm good seemingly with my friends. Then why does it come when it comes to the loved ones, or when it comes to my spouse, I'm having all of these hiccups? There might be certain areas that are only triggered when you open up yourself romantically. What are those things? What is this in the circulatory system that I need to address? And I think if we're mindful that toxicity doesn't just have to look like, oh, you're just a trash person. You don't have to be a trash person to have traits that need evolving.
I love what, and I want to say the name right. I think it's Nicole. Said, I've tried to self-diagnose the warning light instead of going to the shop, God, to read the code correctly. A
Yo,
lot of times we don't know what the problem really is.
bro,
And we are in a
benediction. Who said
place,
that?
is Nicole Wallace. And we get in a space is that I'm trying to, like you said, I'm trying to treat one system when the root is in a deeper layer that
Oh,
you don't discover until you get deep enough in something else that touches that place.
that's
Because
good.
some of our wounds and scars were they happened so deeply that
Yes.
we developed many layers of scar tissue as a form of protection, and we don't realize that the wound is still open until something penetrates to that level of depth,
Oh, my
and we
God.
don't really know what the problem is. We don't know what the problem is until you touch it, and I say, ouch,
My
wait,
God.
because I thought I was healed, and then you touched me in a deeper space,
My God.
and then I realized where I thought I was healed,
Mm,
I was just protecting. So now I went into a space of self-preservation,
my God.
and I built myself back up.
My,
But the rebuilding didn't address the cracks in the foundation.